Bedrock Games here, coming at you with another Minecraft Bedrock Edition commands tutorial. Today's tutorial is going to be on making a death counter to count how many times players die on your entire server or on a portion of your server. If you guys want to count how many kills a player has done, I have another video that I will throw a link up in the description for at the top. And if you guys want to count how many deaths a player has, then this video is for you. So without further ado, let's get right into it here. We have a couple of command blocks over here that we're using to go ahead and count players' deaths based on how much experience points they have. So right here we have scoreboard players add at anyone with a level of 0, deaths 1. So after you die and you lose all your experience points from your horrible experience of dying, you're going to end up with 0 XP, and this here is going to put 1 point on the deaths scoreboard. And then we're going to run that into a unconditional always active chain, and then this one here is going to do /XP 1 level at anyone with a level of 0. So after it gives you that point there, it's going to go ahead and it's going to give you 1 level so that you no longer will be eligible to get another point on the death scoreboard. So now that we have ourselves a simple counter there, we're going to want to make sure that we actually add a scoreboard objective. So we're going to go up into the chat here. I'm going to run a command /scoreboard objectives add deaths dummy, and you can see in the chat there it says added new objective deaths successfully. So now that we actually have an objective for this to add a point to here, we're going to want to go ahead and add ourselves a backup command. If we'd like to, we can add one to make sure it shows 0. That's totally optional. So when we display our deaths here, you can see that right now I have deaths with no score. So if that's bothering you, you could turn this on, and then it'll make my death 0 for anyone who hasn't died yet. If it's important to you guys that you haven't died, you might want to turn that part on there. Totally optional. And then this command here is actually going to display the death scoreboard at an NPC using the raw title. You could do anything you'd like to with the scoreboard. You could put it in the main menu, you could put it in the sidebar, you could put it above the players' heads. Anything that you could do standard with the scoreboard is going to work for this as well. So this is also totally optional. But anyways, this is /execute at entity type equals NPC name equals deathbot. And don't forget, when you're naming your NPC, you got to put that NPC spawn egg on an anvil to name it, or you're going to need to summon them with a name. I find this is the easiest way to do it. And now that it's actually named deathbot, when you summon him in, he will come into the world with the hover node above its head, and you'll know that commands can actually execute at him. If you just edit that name there, it's not going to work. So anyways, now that we've named our NPC, name equals deathbot, / title raw at P R equals 5. So this is how you choose how far away the player is from the NPC who's going to receive the message. And then you're going to go action bar, you're going to open up some brackets, and then if you guys aren't familiar with the raw text, I've gone over it in a few different videos here as examples. If you guys throw 100 likes on this video, I'll make a dedicated video to raw text at NPCs. But as you can see, we're basically opening up squiggly brackets and we're separating everything by quotation marks and all that kind of fun stuff. We're choosing a player within 5 blocks. We're running the text deaths at them. We changed to green, and then we're choosing a player within 5 blocks again with the objectives deaths. So that all that does there is just actually make sure that this comes on screen for us and everything. Now that you have all these commands turned on and everything like that, and you've added yourself that scoreboard objective, it's time for us to unfortunately test that death counter. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself into survival mode here, and you can see a minute ago I have 0 deaths right now on my death counter, and if we yeet ourselves into the void here, no, when we come back up we have 1 death on the death scoreboard. And just to, you know, kind of do the definition of insanity here and repeatedly do it just to see what we can do underneath this world. Can't quite survive that void again, huh? Yep. Now we have 2 deaths on the deaths counter. So that's pretty much it for this video here. It's very simple. If you guys would like to do it on the entire world, that's how you would do it. If you would like to do just a particular section of your world, then you would need to separate your players with a tag or a score. I suggest using a tag. So we would actually just go ahead in this first command block here. Oh, I'm in survival mode still. So we'll put ourselves back into creative, and in this first command block here we're just going to go ahead and add a tag in here. So if this is going to be anyone, and well, let's say for example we wanted to do an anarchy section of the server, we would add a tag of anarchy to the players. and then you would leave a comma to separate that level equals 0. And this right here is just going to basically only give a point if I'm in that particular section of the server. You're going to tag me, and I'm only going to get a point when I die in that particular section of the server. So now you can see that I'm not in the Anarchy section of the server, and I'm going to die, and it is not going to give me a third death. So now I still have 2 deaths because I died in the wrong section of the server. But now I'm going to actually join the Anarchy section of the server, so to speak, and we're going to tag self add Anarchy. And now that I'm an Anarchy player who's yeeting themselves into the void again, I should end up with 3 deaths. So you can basically separate your server by sections if you'd like to, just by using tags or scores. So if you guys found this video helpful, please go ahead and like and subscribe over here to Arctic Shark Games on YouTube and Arctic Shark Games on Twitch. Throw a like on that video, and if you're having trouble with scoreboards in general, death counters in general, or really any other Bedrock commands, feel free to jump into that Shark Commanders Discord. I will throw a link in the description as well as in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and keep commanding.